to Learning with Nature. My name is Jacqueline Bear. I'm out here in the woods trying to catch butterflies, but I haven't caught any yet. It feels like I'm in a fairy tale world when I'm here. Speaking of fairy tales, I have some friends who are going to tell you about a certain fairy tale, which involves a prince, a maiden, and her glass slipper.
Who is it? We are looking for a lady whose foot will fit in this glass slipper. She was at my ball last night, and...
Oh, may I try it on?
Sure.
It doesn't fit.
I suppose I'll move on to the next house then.
That's not how it ends.
Yeah, her foot is supposed to fit.
I know. That's because what you just saw was a fractured fairy tale.
A fractured fairy tale? What is that?
A fractured fairy tale is kind of just like a normal fairy tale, but certain parts of it have been changed.
How do you write a fractured fairy tale?
Well, you start by taking any old fairy tale, like Rapunzel, Little Red Riding Hood, or the Three Little Pigs, and changing certain parts of it. Like a character's goals, you can add or remove some characters, or you could change who's the good or bad guy.
Like, for example, in the Three Little Pigs, the wolf could be good and the pigs could be bad?
That's a great example.
Could we see a fractured fairy tale?
Sure, I was just about to show you one.
Hansel and Gretel?
That's a great idea. This one is called The Witch's View, and it's from the witch's perspective and paints the witch as the good guy. What can I do to stop people from eating my house? I would build a fence, but I don't really want to go through all of that work. Maybe I would just try to scare people away. Yes, that's it. I will pretend to be a witch to scare people away. What is that noise? What are you doing?
Sorry, we didn't mean to. My sister and I got lost in the woods and we were so hungry. We just wanted to take a piece of candy, but we couldn't stop.
Oh, it's okay. I understand now that you were very hungry and you needed something to eat. But that doesn't give you the right to eat my house.
Look, my brother already apologized. What more do you want?
Nothing. Why didn't you two come inside and get some real food to eat?
I don't want to be rude, but I wouldn't say no to food.
Of course. But please, tell me your names first.
I'm Gretel.
And I'm Hansel.
Great. Now let's get you guys something to eat. What would you like on your sandwich, Hansel?
Ham and cheese is great, thanks.
And you, Gretel?
Oh, turkey and lettuce.
You guys must be exhausted. It's been a long day.
I guess I am pretty tired.
Well, then let me show you to the spare bedroom.
Are you sure this is the right room?
Yes, it's the guest room. Enjoy your rest.
Good morning.
Good morning. How was your sleep?
Good. What's for breakfast?
Eggs and bacon.
I love eggs and bacon.
Good morning. What is that great smell?
Breakfast. Enjoy.
Thank you so much for your help. Me and my sister need to leave now and find our way back home.
Well, good luck finding your way home.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was so cool.
Thank you. What things did you notice that were different?
Well, it was more from the witch's point of view.
That's true. And what else?
The witch seemed good versus the real story she's bad.
You're right. What other, do you have any more other questions about fractured fairy tales?
No, thank you.
Yeah, that was very fun.
You're welcome.
Well, I hope you enjoyed learning about fractured fairy tales. Ugh, the water's up to my ankles. It wasn't this high when I was on my morning walk. My socks are soaked. Well, I wonder why the water's so high.
Did you know that 71% of the Earth is water, and our oceans hold up almost all that water? There are 5 oceans in the world: the Indian Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Southern Ocean. Now on to tides. Tides are the rising and falling of the water at the beach. Usually, there are 2 high tides a day and 2 low tides a day. High tide is when the water moves further up on the shore. Low tide is when the water recedes off the shore.
Tides affect us a lot, even if we don't know it. Fishermen look for high tides because the water comes higher up and then the fish are easier to catch. Also, have you ever noticed a dock that's a lot higher than the sea level? That's because docks were built to stay above the sea level even after high tides.
There are a couple of forces we need to understand before we can understand tides. The first is gravity. Gravity is an invisible force pushing down on everything on Earth. You can imagine space as a big trampoline. If I put one marble in the middle, it makes a small dent. If I put another ball, they come together until they collide. That is gravity. Everything that has mass has gravity. So even you have your own gravity. We measure gravity in units, just like how we measure weight in pounds. We measure gravity in a unit called the G. 1 G is equivalent to the force you feel pushing down on you when you stand on Earth. As you probably know, the Earth orbits the sun. You can imagine this ball as the sun and this white marble as the Earth. Watch what happens when I throw the marble onto the trampoline. You can see it begins to orbit the sun. So, in the real world, though, the sun is like much bigger and the Earth is much farther away. But eventually the Earth will collide into the sun. You don't have to worry about though. That will happen in a long, long time. Another force we need to understand is inertia. Inertia is an object wanting to keep doing what it is already doing. Have you ever noticed that when you're running really fast, you can't just immediately stop? That is inertia. Your body wants to keep moving forward, so it's hard to slow down. You can see inertia very clearly with this quick demo. You can see that I have water in this container, and watch what happens when I jolt the container to the side. You can see that the water wants to stay where it once was, so it slams into the side of the container, splashing all over.
Here I have a container with a nut inside of it. Watch what happens when I swing the container around. The nut doesn't fall out. That's because of centrifugal force. Centrifugal force is acting on the nut inside of the container, pushing against the side, making sure that it doesn't fall out.
Tidal bulges are caused by all of these forces coming together. One tidal bulge is caused by the moon pulling water that is closest to it. Looks like this. The other tidal bulge is caused by the moon. So, since the moon has its own gravity, it also pulls the Earth, just like how the moon is orbiting the Earth. That ends up in the Earth moving towards the moon, and this water on this side wants to stay where it was because of inertia, so that ends up in 2 tidal bulges. This effect is amplified by the fact that the moon is moving around the Earth, so that when the Earth is moving towards it, it goes in a slight circular wobble. Then, centrifugal force starts to happen, and the water is spun out on the side that is furthest from the moon.
There are 2 common tides. There's the high tide, which is here, where the water bulge is coming, and then there's a low tide, which is here, where the water is pulled from. There are also 2 other unique tides, one of them being a spring tide. A spring tide is caused when the moon and the sun are both closest to a high tide. And since the sun has a gravitational force, these both act together to pull the water more than usual, magnifying the high tide. There is also a low tide, and that is caused when the sun is close to a low tide and the moon is close to a high tide. Since the moon pulls the water and the sun still has a gravitational force, the sun pulls on the low tide, which actually diminishes the high tide, creating a neap tide.
Science is really fascinating. One of my favorite memories in school was learning about DNA. DNA is the code that creates the differences between these 2 butterflies and everything on Earth. But DNA is not the only thing that uses codes.
What are you doing, Henry?
I'm programming.
Oh, what's programming?
It's when you give a computer a list of commands and it does what you say.
Oh, cool. What can you do with programming?
Well, you can make games, websites, and even really cool robots.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to play a game to help you understand programming?
Sure. Come over, guys.
Okay, so the rules of the game are similar to Simon Says. If I say user inputs and then an action, then do the action. But if I just say something and don't say user inputs, don't do it. Got it?
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. User inputs jump. User inputs spin in a circle. Touch your nose. Ronan, remember, we don't want the computer doing it if the user doesn't input it. Okay, you want to play again?
Yeah.
Okay. User inputs say hello.
Hello.
User inputs do a jumping jack. User inputs clap 50 times. Stop.
Oh, whoops. Wait. So let me get this straight. You can make robots, games, and websites with computer programming.
Yeah, you can pretty much do anything you put your mind to with computer programming.
Isn't it interesting how much you can do with computer programming? Well, I'm still trying to catch butterflies, but I haven't had much luck. I wonder if my friends on the farm can help me out.
Help, help, my cow's gone loose and I can't find her. Oh, please help me.
Don't worry, I'll help you find your cow. This is a plot grid. It uses numbers to help you find things. You have two numbers, for example, 2 and 4. You would go 2 to the side, 1, 2, then 4 upwards, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you help me find the cow? Is it on 4, 3? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. There's no cow there. Maybe it's on 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cow's not there either. Maybe it's on 9, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yay, there's the cow.
Oh, thank you. Can I maybe ask you one more favor?
Sure.
I have to feed my animals. Can you bring the milk to the market? I'll meet you there.
Okay. Let's find the market. Is it on 6, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, the cow's not there. Maybe it's on 6, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, it's not there either. Maybe it's on 8, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the milk stall.
I'm sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Milk for sale. Fresh milk for sale.
Hi, I'd like to buy some milk.
Here you go. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Well, we sure did a lot today. We learned about fractured fairy tales, the science behind waves, and finding animals with math. I also love the user input game in CS. I hope you learned something too. What was your favorite part? Remember that nature, although complex, can teach us about the things we encounter every day. Thanks for watching.